I'm live. It's real. This is me. I don't have anything real pithy to say this time, but next time maybe it'll be cool. I'll like read some poetry that I wrote, or maybe I stole from the internet somewhere. But like not like steal. I would totally like, hey, this is from that person who's cool, because that's the kind of guy I am. Anyway, yeah, thank you for that. Anyway, hello, fucking A, welcome. Let's get this started right. We're Superior Adventurers Guild. I'm North Shore DM. This is Thursday. It's Midwinter Keening, our Norse-inspired game, of course, written by our friends. Like, I've emailed with them. They can be my friends. Over at Dream Realm Storytellers in Turkey. Super awesome dudes and ladies cranking out some really awesome stuff. I like it, which is why we're playing it. Anyway, let's get into the real reasons you're here, which is not my ugly mug. Let's meet all these beautiful people. Hello. Beautiful people. The beautiful people. The beautiful people. Okay.
Cue the music.
Cue the music. Birds of bodies hit the. Oh wait, no, that's a different song.
Hi.
Yes, hello. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name's Andy. I'm playing Stig.
Oh, do I go first?
My name is Dave, and I'm playing the DM.
We're mixing it up. We're scrambling it.
Andy, go.
Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Andy. I'm playing Stig Egilson, second level Runewalker Wizard. And I'm thrilled to be here tonight, and I can't wait to use one of my new spells.
Ooh.
Awesome. Let's go with Vidar.
Hello, my name is Vidar. I'll be playing Dave tonight. Other way around. I am a second level ranger, and I like to shoot things with my bow, and I'm 15 years old, so I'm just sort of figuring things out as a second level character in this crazy world. I'm excited to be here.
Massive back. Like, I imagine your character has just a huge back. As a lifelong archer.
Yeah, I mean he's got there's some musculature there to support
all back.
Yeah.
All 15 years of that muscular back.
He's got peggy little legs and just a ripped back.
No legs. Astrid.
All right. I'm Ashley, and I'm playing Astrid. I am a cleric of Baldur, 18 years old, mysterious backstory. That's it.
Good to have a mysterious backstory. Michael.
Hello. Jeg heter Michael, og jeg spiller Gundr, alla of Thor. Because I found an Icelandic translator, and I like playing around like that. My name is still Michael, though.
Wow.
I'm still playing Gundr, he's paladin of Alla of Thor, as they say in this setting. And just excited to be here, and excited to meet Gorm's Rangers at the Hall of the Rangers, because that shit sounds so fucking metal.
It does.
That leaves me.
It leaves you.
I'm Amanda. I play Paija, the midwife. To do that, she's technically a bard in the way the game works. Second level. We're gonna have fun. I guess I'm also the matchmaker now, because, that happened. I'm 43 years old, and I know what these youngins need sometimes.
Matchmaker, make me a match. Hey, why don't you hit it right up with your axe?
Ooh.
That doesn't rhyme.
It gets lost in translation from the original Norse.
That's right. Okay. So that's everybody. So today, as is yesterday, last session, as is the session before, let's grab one. Which one are we doing? We will be giving away a set of dice from a company called Azure Forged. These ones will look,
Ooh.
as a matter of fact, just like this. Oh, that focused up real nice.
Those are pretty.
They are called blended polyhedral. So, yeah, that's less descriptive than. Anyway, they look cool. They might glow in the dark. I think one of these that I have glows in the dark. That's what the receipt told me.
I think you glow in the dark. That's what it was.
I do, but that's radiation. It's a totally different thing. You will be able to, Dave. What's the secret word that people will be able to type into the chat in order to win this set of dice?
The secret word for tonight is Azure, Azure, and we will draw the lucky winner at the end of the stream. You do need to be present to win, and all that jazz. So type it in there, and good luck.
Yes.
Good luck, Kyle.
Yes. Good luck, Kyle. Yeah, and Phoenix, if you're watching, I am still mailing yours. It's been a hell of a week, but I have it. I have a box for it. I'm ready to go and get it out to you. So just so everyone knows, I will be mailing a set of dice to Japan because that's where he lives, and that's the kind of guy that I am. If you win, I will mail it to you. Unless it's in Antarctica, I'm gonna be honest. If you're watching from Antarctica and you win, I know what the shipping costs are gonna be to down there, and that's not gonna do it. I'm sorry. I'll send you a PDF of something. Anyway, if you also like things in the campaign setting of Greyhawk, you can tune into our channel here on Wednesdays from 7 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, where a few of these faces, plus another face who is different, and then minus some of these faces, play.
We're going to recruit them eventually, don't worry.
Play Beyond Saltmarsh, and it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a sea-based game, sort of. We have a boat. We sail it. We're kind of like mobile detectives. We do a lot of investigations, it's fun. It's interesting. So check that out. Yeah. Anyway, what happened last week? What did happen last week? Last week, hang on. Do I have a document that tells me what happened last week?
Budagar is vouching for the dice set, which he received recently.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Awesome.
And says that they are cool as heck.
Awesome. I'm glad. I meant to say something about that, and I am glad that you have said that, Budagar.
Chad, while you're
awesome.
looking that up, I have one more announcement to make.
Oh.
We have emotes, people. So if you are a subscriber at any of the tiers, we now have emotes available for our supporters. Thank you for supporting the stream. We appreciate it. We have emotes. Kyle, did you find the emotes? Find them. They're fun. I think that's it.
Cool. Oh, this is cool. Hang on, I'm just copying this. Save image as. Oh, it's from Assassin's Creed. No worries. That won't be in the game, or will it? Anyway, hello. Last week, our intrepid heroes, our group of people who vaguely know each other. Some know each other better than others. Who of course live or currently reside in, perhaps some people would prefer to say, the town of Molgor, which is in the kingdom called Green Lights of the East, which is probably less of a mouthful in the original Svillandic, but I don't know how to speak that language, so Green Lights of the East it is. Molgor, known as the last town, because it is the last town that you will visit as you travel north through the kingdom, before you get to like the kind of, I don't want to say wastes, but the places where people don't go, the mountains called Emir's Lash. It is situated in a great kind of crux of things. There's a massive haunted forest to east, there's of course some spirit-haunted ruins somewhere to the west, and then of course a neighboring country who, as you do, never sees eye to eye with you. There are bandit-filled woods, mountains of indeterminate things, and it turns out that there are some folk who just won't stay dead, that hang out in the snow and have to be put down again, which is kind of where we started last session. The previous session, there was a battle with some Draugr during a snowstorm. They were, of course, killed as those kinds of beings must be by the party, and then they were set upon by fire and wood the next morning, so as to scatter their ashes and make it more difficult to rise again. There was a bunch of really cool discussions about what the hell happened. We learned a little bit that the father of this family whose farmstead we are at, whose name is Ulf Orenson, he had known the leader, possibly the leader of this group of bandits, who, if I'm reading my notes right, and I might be reading it wrong, was named Botvid. Can anybody corroborate that wasn't it? Damn it. Was it Havard?
Avad.
Oh, okay.
Avad.
I wrote them too close together. I better write bandit guy. Bandit guy. There we go. Havard. They had known each other from before. And he had come to Ulf's house, essentially looking for his daughter, cashing in on some kind of old debt that they had had from before Ulf was a farmer, and maybe before Havard was a bandit. We don't really know a lot about what went on, although there are speculations abound amongst the group, which is fantastic. There was some discussion about, hey, it's possible that they're trying to get your daughter because she's a maiden still. We got to marry her. I don't know why I'm talking like Christopher Walken.
But I think it worked.
Yeah, it does
More
work.
cowbell.
Yep.
I definitely spent
Hard.
like 45 minutes talking at work like Christopher Walken today, because I was very angry and I needed to. But so there's talks about possibly fast tracking a wedding, perhaps between obviously the girl whose name is Orny and the neighbor's son, Yor, spelled with a J, Yor, who she fancies. He's nice, that sort of. They're young. She's like 18. And so the party gathered up everybody, to including the family, to bring back to town, just to be safe. Some of them went to the Storytellers Inn, where two of the party have residencies, and just two of you went to see the Rangers. Correct?
Correct.
Just two of you.
But we took Stig's spirit with us just as an offering.
Oh, that's
Wait, wrong game.
Oh.
You have that ability at second level? Hot damn. And that's kind of where we were.
Wait, where did Stig go then?
Stig's at the
He's
end.
with you.
Maybe the inn with us? Okay.
Yeah, he's having a nice dinner with the rest of us. He's smart.
Yeah,
Isn't he going to officiate
Okay.
the wedding?
I don't know. I mean, that's up to him.
I mean,
No, we didn't bring yours. Someone needs to go and fetch him.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I have anything else? I think that is about where we are. Do any of you, my players, have any questions, clarifications that you would like before we get started? Any questions about, I don't know, mechanical things about your character, a spell that you read cross-eyed earlier, Andy? I'm just calling you because I like to.
And you
No,
have spells.
I do have
You
spells,
do have spells. That's right.
but I don't have any questions about them right now.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, we're gonna start with two of you. Whoops. Wow, I'm totally blanking on names right now. Wow, that's bad. Gundr and Vidar.
Big happy Gundr.
You have left. Oh man, did I upload that? Yeah, here we go. Baka.
It's a map.
This is my new map of the region.
Ooh, nice. That looks really good.
Thank you. Everyone was like, "Oh, are you doing a hex crawl?" And I said, "No, I just like the look of hex maps. It's easier for me to think in hexes."
I just assumed we were doing a hex crawl. I'm not gonna lie. Hex
No,
crawl.
I
Hex
just
crawl.
like them. I think.
I
it looks
mean,
cool.
I'm with you on that. I'm old school. Anyway, I'm distracting.
Yeah. Anyway, so you two have left the rest of your party to take care of the family and kind of get settled as Storytellers in, and are on your way to Gorm's Hall, the Hall of the Rangers, which is not too far from town. It's maybe. When did I do this? Oh, I did it. So it's probably like in these conditions, unless you happen to have like skis or something, it might be like an hour, just kind of taking the snow trails, especially after the big snow. It's really not quite as far as that in real life, but it's snow time. Snow time. It's winter. Makes things slow.
It's snow o'clock.
Yeah, it is snow o'clock. It is, it's a pretty nice day now. Like after many large snowstorms, it's a blue sky a little bit. It's cold. The trees have that nice kind of snow covering. Maybe a little bit of ice, so they look a little blue, as they do. It's beautiful. There's definitely the crunch of snow underfoot. It's rather peaceful in some ways. Some might say.
Vidar will send Iceland up his snowy owl companion to fly as he does when he's returning to the encampment, to perch above Gorm's. There's a perch above the entrance to the hall, to Gorm's hall, which oftentimes will signal his return ahead of his arrival. Gundr, are you concerned at all with what happened at the homestead? Do you think there is more on the way?
Yes.
Yes. I agree. It's troubling. And he hurries. You can tell looking at him, he's agitated and concerned.
Take care. Walk normal. There is time enough. In the meantime, we will seek these bandits. Do not worry.
You approach. You make your way to the hall, unaccosted by wildlife or men or spirits or any of the things that would be questionable for fine young men such as yourself to encounter alone.
I love the hall.
What's that?
Nothing.
Gorm's Hall is it's not as big as obviously it's not as big as the Yarrows Hall. It's I'm gonna use references for things that we might know, but ultimately they don't exist other than our minds, and I don't have good pictures for them. But it's maybe a little bit smaller than like the Storytellers in. So it's a good sized building, but not a super big building. I was actually looking for some cool real world art, but all of the ones that I could find of actual remaining Viking halls are just massive buildings, and so I didn't want to do that. So, but it's of a good size. The entrance, as well as much of the interior, is kind of highly carved. Gorm and his fellas, his rangers, I guess to me, as you would with men such as this, you would have similar motifs in their stuff. So it's carved with animals and beasts, on the lintel posts, on the wood, and that kind of thing. The beams inside the hall that hold up the building are also kind of plastered almost with graffiti, I guess would be a good way to put it. Vidar, that and perhaps even you as well, you go, you do something, or you see something really cool, or some of the others who might have killed face down some bandits out in the wilds, or perhaps a hell beast or a veneer beast or some such, or perhaps just a normal beast, would are want to kind of depict such actions in pictures, some great, some less so, and kind of post them up on the pillars that hold the roof up. Some of the more storied ones end up maybe as weavings or more permanent art that hangs from the hall. It's a very inviting place. There's there are many trophies from hunts, that you've done or partaken in, stags and rams and wildcats, bears, perhaps, those kinds of things.
Fierce Svilland chickens.
Yeah, they're like 7 feet tall, those chickens.
Those are called murder birds.
Yeah, murder birds. That's just called Tuesday. And when you as you approach, realistically, before you get to some of that description, as you approach, the kind of the area around the hall is kind of well appointed, well made. There's a bit of a clearing around it, although maybe less of a clearing around the hall than other such halls. The Gorm and his folk feel less affronted by the wild, right? Because they're rangers. So that border for y'all is a little more fluid than it would be maybe for someone of a different sort. But there are appointed training areas outside. There's a circle, which is a common sight in many places. a pit to fight in, to train. There's you have essentially lanes set up, targets for archery practice, and the different skills that you have at your disposal that you rangers practice. You can see that there are a number of kind of ski sets leaning up against the side of the building as you approach, telling you how, kind of who or how many of the men and women of these folk might be here at this time. And indeed, you can hear the distinct twang of a bow from kind of off around the corner of the building. And you hear a nice shot, sort of, as two or at least two people are taking their practice at shooting some arrows. Yeah.
We'll rush right through the clearing and to the hall.
Yeah. Entering the hall. It's a little smoky, like these halls probably are, but not a lot because of the supreme ventilation that eons of living in halls like this has allowed us to engineer. But it is warm and inviting. It's I forget how long I said it. Oh yeah, it's towards the end of the day. So you can smell the smells of cooking as it is perhaps nearing evening, dinner. If I vaguely remember right, it doesn't matter. It's around that time. You can smell the kind of the earthy smells of a spiced, steaming mead over the fire. And indeed, you can see Gorm himself sitting near the hearth, talking with another. Oh, that's what I forgot to open. No. That's okay. I got it right here. A part of me really likes to not make up names because I think it's hilarious when I get names on the spot. Maybe that's just me.
For many sessions in my home game, the captain of the guard was Captain Broor, and when I eventually gave him a name, the players refused to accept it.
So you can see Gorm is sitting, sharing a cup and talking with a younger man that Vidar. His name is Rakel, Rakel. It's a fantastic name.
Sounds like
Rakel. He likes to tackle.
Ooh.
That man.
No. Okay.
All right.
And I have Gorm. Gorm, where are you?
Gorm is the friend who made
Gorm. Since this is the first time meeting him, I'll describe him to you. Gorm is a middle-aged, sort of Austrian man. I don't know, in his 30s, perhaps. He is known for having early onset white hair. So his hair on his head is white, although his beard is black and bristling. He doesn't wear it long. He keeps it kind of short, so it's a little more pokey. I don't know, because it sounds cool. And he's as a ranger is, he's a hardy, strong, able-bodied fella. He's known for he's a nice kind of easygoing sort of guy. As you kind of have to be in some ways, perhaps from a perspective, when your life is on the fucking line all the time because you live in the wilds and there's monsters on the loose.
Vidar's going to do something first, or do you want Gundr to go first?
Yeah, Vidar will approach in a little deferentially and stop, sort of with his head down, but he'll just Gorm.
Vidar, you've come back.
Yes,
Fantastic.
it was. Yes, we made it back, but we were attacked. The family has returned to Molgor with us.
Oh! Here, please,
Sit.
sit. And your friend,
Gundr,
sit here.
a pleasure to
Racco.
meet you, and I beg the hospitality of your hall.
And Racco kind of gets up and gets the two of you a cup of mead. Sits down, lets you get settled, and says, "Please, continue."
The family was under attack, as Einar said. We raced there with Gundr and others from town. The one they call Stig, Paija, of course, joined us, and Astrid. I don't know if you know all of them, but we arrived as the raiders were leaving with the daughter. But we fought them off.
They were taking the daughter.
Yes. We fought them off and they died. They were killed. But they came back.
Like there were more of them?
The storm that came in the night, it brought some of the Black Winter, and their corpses rose.
Draugr.
Draugr. That's not good news.
This is why we come to you first. If trouble is to come from the north, it will find your doors before anyone else's.
As it does. You said Stig was with you.
Aye.
And Astrid, the Gothi. Did they have any insight about these Draugr?
Not much more than what Gundr has told you. The Black Winter was mentioned.
We also know from another tale told by a friend that these bandits have been here for some time, and this is not the first they have sought out travelers to capture.
It was Havard.
I will let me make a roll.
That motherfucker.
Read the room, Havard.
Havard. That name is familiar. And he says, he turns to Rackle and he says, oh no, where's my document? Excuse me. Oh, Rackle's a female. I'm sorry. Rackle's supposed to be a girl. That was my intent.
It's a common
originally.
mistake. It's okay.
Yeah.
With all the
Rackle's a girl. Rackle's a girl.
How old is she?
I don't know. You're not there.
You did say she was young, but I don't know if that means younger than Vidar or not.
Well,
Yeah, you guys seem to think that young means anywhere from like 12 to like 18.
Yes, young is
11 to 24?
anyone younger than me is young. He turns to Rackle and says, go see if Bjor is up Broor. Broor is out back. Bror. That's a hell of a fucking consonant name. Broor.
Now, is Broor a male or a female?
But you know that Broor is a male.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a dude. Although, to be fair, Rackle's a dude as well. Because all people can be dudes.
Good point.
And she says, yes. And kind of takes off, sits down her cup, takes off, and comes back a bit later. And Broor comes in. He's an older guy. He's, maybe probably actually in his 40s, maybe a little older. An actual kind of gray beard, well respected among the Rangers. He has a lot of experience. Although you also know that he has sort of a gimp leg, a wound that never really healed right. So he doesn't really go out and do a lot anymore. But sometimes that's what happens when you get attacked by a bear in the middle of nowhere and you have to like crawl back to civilization. As you do, And Gorm says, Broor, does the name Havard ring a bell? And Broor kind of scratches his beard and thinks a bit. He says, yeah, I think that, I remember him when I lived in the South. He was in the Thunder Guard. Kind of an asshole. Why? What could you? What brings this up?
He was a bandit, and now he is dead.
It's a bandit. Wow, that is unfortunate.
He seemed to know Ulf, who has a farmstead a few miles north.
Uv Ornson.
Yes, Orenson.
Yeah, I think they were both in the guard together, if I remember right. I scouted for I don't know, their unit, their whatever the name for their battle group might have been, their Thunderhead.
Is this Thunder Guard something that Vidar would be knowledgeable of?
Yes, the Thunder Guard. The Thunder Guard is kind of the name that the Green Lights of the East call their military after a fashion. Here, let me finally open this other thing that I was supposed to do, so I can give you the real shtick, because everybody really knows about this. Even you, Vidar, not being necessarily from here initially. Thunder Guard, the elite force of Green Lights of the East. They reside in Thorath, protecting the royalty and maintaining the folk's faith in Thor. Most of them can often be found in the palace. Okay, so maybe that's a little more fancy than I thought they were. There are other contingents of Thunder Guard, maybe, who are less cool than that. Less royal guards, a little more,
Either way,
fighting.
the mention of two Thunder Guard up here, retired, one of them's a bandit. Just there's a very specific crease that appears in Gundr's brow, which is a It is the crease of I'm not getting angry about this.
Fair enough.
You say tired here, or just came north one day?
Ulv? Ulv is from here. His family's lived in Molgor as long as anyone. And he did his time in the guard and came back, had a family. Havard, I don't know. If he's a bandit, as you say, and I don't doubt your word.
To be clear, he is a bandit no longer.
I understand.
Your man saw to this. He has excellent aim.
You
Vidar
killed
kinda
him.
drops his head a little bit, kind of looks at his feet or his hands as he's sitting there. It is
Vidar
true. It is
did well
true.
for himself.
And then he kind of looks up at him and looks Gorm in the eye. It is true.
It's good. Don't feel so sad about it. It sounds like he had it coming.
It was justified.
But good, and he claps you on the shoulder. You guys for like 10 minutes. The rest of you, totally, it's awkward, but at the same time, you're like, I remember when this happened to me, and you just nod to each other.
Gundr, you would definitely notice like a change in Vidar's sort of outward expression. He definitely like gets that prideful sort of vibe from Gorm, and with the approval from Gorm, he sort of sits up a little bit straighter. And
The murder crease disappears and is replaced with the smug crease.
Stig and Paija and Astrid have gone to the inn to warn the townsfolk of these creatures. Our concern, bringing this to you as well, is that they may come in greater numbers, perhaps threatening the town.
Yeah, we will be ready. I think perhaps what we can do is warn the outlying homesteads, especially after last night's storm. Wow. After last night's storm, travel will be rough. But as you know, and again, he kind of claps you on the shoulder. These are the things we live for.
Aye.
Where we thrive. And he turns to Broor and he says, "Broor, gather the men." And Broor takes off.
To that, Gorm, my intent is to seek these bandits in their home, like a bear in winter. To do so, I would have leave to take your man with me. He is invaluable.
Well, my man, you say, go.
On your order.
Now, I don't know. I lost myself for a second there.
Gundr just gives a bow of his head and heads back towards the door.
He says, I will we'll warn the outliers, and we can meet you in town maybe day after next. That should be enough time, and we can talk with the Jarl, see where things stand.
Then we will let the Jarl know to expect you. We speak to him next.
Fantastic. Well, As you will. We have work to do.
As
Thank
do
you.
we. Thor Ward. And just
And then he says, he says, he kind of motions Vidar. He kind of takes you, not really like aside, but a little bit. He says, "Are you okay?"
Yes, it wasn't easy, but I saw the need, and I would do it again.
That's the biggest step. Finding that need, filling it. You've done well. Now, would you call these folk friends?
Yes.
Keep your friends safe. Now, we'll see you in a couple of days.
Very well.
Be safe.
Vidar will turn and
He-
follow
he claps
Gundr.
you. Yeah. And yeah. You as you are Gundr, as you are about to step outside, you hear a hearty horn blow, which is the course. In this case, it's the call of the Rangers. Yeah, you see Broor kind of blowing the horn, and he says a few of them are further afield, but they'll come.
I imagine Vidar has like a place where he beds down, an area maybe where he keeps some personal belongings somewhere in camp or in the hall, maybe even, that he would probably stop by and just quickly grab a few things that he might need,
Sure.
along with maybe some dried meats and some food that he could stuff into his pack, so that he has something in case he
Absolutely.
needs it for the others. Okay.
Yeah, you have a pallet, maybe a footlocker even, where you keep stuff and sleep. It's nice. Yeah. And you two head out and return to town.
Perfect.
And it'll probably be dark by the time you get back, but that's okay. You're a strapping young man.
we probably won't be killed in the dark by spirits.
Probably, I wouldn't guarantee it, but probably not.
I guess we'll
Well, I
find
said
out.
probably.
The rest of you, you are in the Storytellers Inn. Absalon is there. There had been someone else there. Ursa, my cat. Ursa was there, who is like, if I remember right, she's like a townswoman. Oh man, okay, I don't remember. I remember there was something special about her that was just kind of like a weird, dumb identifier. Like she's the person who is always
Carries a
around.
fork with her all the time. I think that's what it was.
Oh,
She's a woman who carries her own fork. And she listens to Absalon stories over and over again.
yeah.
Now there's new people here, so of course Absalon is telling his stories tailored
Yeah.
to the audience. And many of us have heard them repeatedly, but there's new people who get to hear about love and loss and a woman who
As
bright
you do.
hair and fell in love, and then her partner husband left her while she was with child, and a horribly sad story for someone who's just thinking about getting married. But that's kind of his way.
I've heard it a couple of times now.
Yeah, we've heard it.
Like 6 times, and that was just before breakfast.
So many times. So good.
And yeah, and the Excuse me. Oh wow, I totally got that all wrong. I just noticed a note that I wrote to myself that was not correct. You yeah, the family Ulv and Maya and Orn and Einar and Orny are getting settled and having some food. What you do?
Okay. So we're all sitting down and we're eating and we're just kind of chilling and trying to recount our tale. And Astrid is sitting there and she can't shake this feeling that like she's missing something or like it's bothering her. Like, why did this person show up? Like, that she knew? Like, how did these people know her? And you know, she's sitting at the table and she's looking at Orny. And what does Orny look like? Just FYI.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, what's a cool thing? What do I have? What is Orny known for? D12. 12.
It's on fire.
Well, that's awkward. I rolled blessed with a willful wife or husband. That's obviously that doesn't track at all.
Well, she will be, right?
She will be someday.
Maybe if they get her married.
Yeah. No, she's a hardy girl. Well suited to the kind of life that she lives. Not you wouldn't say that she's like she doesn't like say she's not like those super crazy beautiful people who are like princesses and stuff. But she's like I don't know, she's a nice girl.
She's a pretty corn-fed.
Yeah,
She's an
kinda
Iowa
like
girl.
Iowa girl.
She's a nice and kind of easy smile.
It was very active in
she
4-H.
wears her hair in one big ass braid, as people might do.
Sure.
And
She blonde, medium blonde, brown hair.
yeah, like maybe a medium blonde.
Okay.
Like I don't know what blonde hair colors are. I don't have hair anymore.
We're the wrong person to talk about hair colors.
That's true.
Wow.
It's like brown and gray. She has a cool scar, I think, on her arm.
Okay, but not like a brand or anything. It's just like a
No, it's just a scar from a wolf.
damn.
Yeah.
All right. But like she's about the same age as me, right?
Yeah, like 18-ish.
Yeah.
Or about to be 18.
Okay, sure.
I don't remember how old you are, but
I'm 18. A little weirded out. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can catch what's his name again?
or Ulf.
Ulv. And like ask him some questions about like what happened.
Sure.
A little bit more in depth. Like everybody was kind of like listening and watching like last time, and he seemed really like nervous about saying anything. So I kind of want to like corner him on the like way back from the bathroom or something, or like like when nobody's like everybody's distracted, like strike up a conversation.
Yes. Yeah, he gets up to relieve himself, and you corner him.
Well, no, before on the way back, because like nobody wants to talk to me.
On the way back, absolutely. like, no, I really have to go. Get out of my way, woman.
Yeah, right. Like, in a minute.
I don't have time for this.
Right.
Yeah, you're able to kind of catch him on the way back.
Okay. Wolf. I'm sorry to trouble you again, but I have some more questions. And I was hoping that you would be willing to talk to me.
Sure.
That man that we killed, that you said that you knew, that Avard, you said you had worked with him in the past. How long ago was that?
I probably haven't seen Havard in a handful of years, maybe 7, 8 years. We were in the Thunder Guard together
Right.
back in Thora.
And do I know where Thora is compared to where I
Yes.
grew up?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
so Thora, I say Thora because it's written that way in some places, but Thorath is the name of the town.
Okay.
And it's the capital. So, and it's to the south of the something Vic, where you're from.
Okay.
Vic. Yeah.
All right. So like, so you hadn't seen him in 7 years, and he showed up yesterday, and asked you to pay him.
Well, he saved my life once, and I owed him a life debt.
Inside check.
Sure. Yeah. Make the roll.
Yeah, is he being truthful? Like, is this a bunch of bull? Oh man, I gotta roll on the. Okay, hold on. All right, and then so I rolled a 12.
Plus your
and- Is it intelligence? Is it?
It's
Insight
wisdom.
is wisdom based.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that is a 16.
Yeah, he seems to be speaking true.
Okay.
He is he keeps eye contact. He doesn't he doesn't waver in his speech about this. He speaks with conviction.
Okay. All right. And do you know what he was planning to do with Orny if he had taken her?
I don't. He said that they needed her. That she had an important role to play. And if I wanted to get out of this life here on the in the north, that I should help them.
All right.
I think he's something. He wasn't always a great person, but he seemed rather unhinged.
All right. Then I guess I just have a few more things to ask.
Mm.
Have you ever seen anyone that had, or heard of anyone who had, a blue diverger blade?
You know, I feel like I would remember something like that. That sounds cool, but
Fair enough.
but Yeah, it doesn't sound like anything I remember.
Then, do you know anyone or a group of people maybe who are called Bloodless?
Bloodless. There were a group we had encountered in an official capacity years before. We only fought them but once. I guess my troop. It's the time when Havard saved my life. They were bandits. They'd been raiding. They'd been raiding the towns out near the Muddy Peninsula. I'm sorry, no, not the Muddy Peninsula. I don't like that. Out near Eastern Look. That sounds better. Out near Eastern Look. That's
Sure.
that makes more sense. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. It's just south of Kroksholt. By just, I mean it's over some mountains. But and had been some problems. And they were somehow more than we could manage. There was an acre of them, as they say.
So he saved you from these bandits. How did that go? Did he intervene? Did he, rescue
I
you?
had thought
Or...
I had thought he had had fallen early in the skirmish, and but later, after I had been wounded and knocked down, he kind of appeared almost from nowhere as one of these bloodless, perhaps, was about to make a killing blow, and struck that man down. And then he lifted me. He lifted me up, and he said, "It's lost. We have to run." And we ran. A few of us escaped. Most of our men were killed in the field. I had heard that they were driven out of the area later that year by another regiment. The Queen had sent more men. I guess soon after that is when I retired and came back north. Do you think he was with them? That these men were?
I think I have run into a bard before, and he was with a group of men who had been talking about the bloodless, and I'm not sure if he was referring to the group he was with were bloodless, or if they were merely referencing them, but it didn't sound good, and he was not acting in a good way.
That is troubling. And he kind of looks, I don't know, I guess kind of like he has before, kind of about this situation, like he definitely has that kind of the kind of a part of him has that look of like, yeah, these were some bad dudes that tried to kill my fucking family. We fucking killed them or whatever. You guys killed them. He's got that look like, very kind of movie hero look. But at the same time, he's, there's a bit of a sadness there as well, that you are able to detect. This. Nobody wants to have to fucking break a blood oath, life debt, right? Because somebody's trying to cash in with your daughter. Like, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah, that's kind of an expensive
it's
price
a little,
to pay.
Yeah, right. It's a little conflicting. It's one thing if you're like, hey, I want to marry your daughter. Like, come on. But this is totally different. That's not what that was. Yeah. So he says, well, I'm in your debt, all of you. You have saved Orny from whatever fate would have befallen her, and definitely saved a lot of our lives. So,
Well, I
if
can
ever-
only imagine what it would have been like, as I am so close to her age. I'm glad that we saved her, and if you hear anything, please, if you can remember anything more about anything I've just asked, please let me know. Perhaps it can stop this from happening in the future.
I will. Now, I believe there's meat. Unless you have anything else.
No, please partake.
Let's go have some more meat.
And return to the table as if nothing has happened, and sit down and
That
have
wasn't
food.
strange at all.
No.
The two of you, my friends.
Oh.
What mischief are you getting up to?
I am probably talking to Maya, trying to figure out, enough of what the story was, how her husband might know this man, if she knew this guy, like what she thinks of this match with her daughter. If she's got any other ideas as to what's going on. Like, Maya, tell me your story. Everyone's got a story.
She says, this man, this Havard, I've not seen him before.
Have you heard of him?
Yes, he was someone, my husband knew from his time in the guard.
When was that?
Years ago. I don't remember how many years I just said. Yeah,
It's
like
7 or 8, which
7
meant
or
she
8
would
is
have had
seven.
a 4-year-old by herself, unless she was living with him.
Yeah.
She would
that's-
know
Hey,
very
listen,
well how long.
math is weird.
They got married. He got, thrust
He
into the
shipped out
guard.
with the
and,
guard, he came back.
But I mean,
back.
he
Good
would
night.
have had to have shipped out a couple of times, so I mean,
Maybe they moved with him.
they did.
Maybe,
Okay.
Maybe she's from down there. Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah.
Could happen.
I like
Could
that.
happen.
I'm going with that.
Okay. So
Canon.
she's from down there, so they lived down there together
Yes.
while he was in the while he was in this guard.
Yep.
Or well, let's say 10 years.
Yep.
But then she didn't know any of the people that he worked with in the guard, so she didn't know Havard, even though now she lived nearby.
I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I was in the military for a while, and I love my boys, but I'm not bringing them home.
Okay.
That's not necessarily true. But there are some that you wouldn't bring home.
Well, you wouldn't necessarily bring home. Doesn't mean that she doesn't
yeah.
necessarily know like all of the
Yeah.
women that he
Yeah, it's
that
possible.
got in that horrible situation of knowing him. Like,
Yeah,
women
he.
have a whole different level of gossip.
Or,
The-
by
Insight.
reputation,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, would she allow her daughter to go with any of? Like, she might even be more terrified of what Havard would do with 18-year-old girl than her husband ever could have been.
Yeah, I can't imagine what they would have. What? I don't know. I don't know. What?
So do you like your?
He's a fine lad.
Okay.
He's a braw lad, as they
Well,
say.
You know, Orny seems to have a little sweet for him, so there's nothing wrong within the kin and the clan. Might be time to expand.
Grain's a good man.
There you go. Well, then blessings to you, the next generation. Grandchildren are so much more fun than the original children.
You think this is that's the reason they were after her? I mean, I agree that
They're men.
there are less options, but man, that seems
And really,
wild.
does she have special skills? Is she a good talker? Is she amazing with the herb? I mean, does she bring in money of her own?
She spins a mean wool.
So she makes a good wife? I think she should make a very good wife.
I would hope she would make a good wife. Yes. I've taught her everything she knows.
Well, sounds lovely.
keep pushing.
Hey, I am.
She's writing out the wedding invites right on the table.
Right.
So what's his name? What's his parents' name? Where do they live? Where, like cousins? Like, we'll address this to them too.
Let's talk about place settings.
Good times.
Place settings. I fucking hate
No.
weddings.
Paija did not have this much choice in her wedding, nor was she anywhere near this old. So, and it was, well, definitely arranged without nearly as much consideration. She thinks this is perfectly legitimate and actually a love match, as close as one gets. So, I mean, there's a lot of duress that could happen.
I think that they're trying to sacrifice this girl, so like they, all right,
I mean,
as long as this
I
is
don't know
not
if she'll
worse.
survive
like-
one way or another unless she's married and therefore not quite the. And you know what? Even if they do take her anyway, at least she's been happily married for a night or two or three.
Short. What is this, like Romeo and Juliet? It's like, it's been 3 days. You're all dead.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Welcome to Svilland.
Realistically, like that tracks. that makes sense. Shakespeare was pulling from traditional storytelling tropes. That tracks.
Sure.
If it was a Hong Kong movie, they would have never even made it that far. They would have everybody would have died, and the village would have burned down, and then Chow Yun Fat would have died, the last person.
There's
who
still
would strangely
time.
have
There's still
officiated the
time.
wedding.
Like, they're not
That's
married
true.
yet.
We can do that.
Molgor can still
we
burn.
can do that.
That's
We can do
right.
that. Once upon a time in Mexico.
And it still means that the blood oath, everyone gets to keep their honor. The blood, whatever that blood oath is, it can be paid in a different way that may actually be more palatable
He's
for the
dead.
person who owns it.
Yes.
Oh.
Cough, cough. He's a dead man.
Well, he's only been dead once, twice.
The third time
Least
it's
that
the
we know
hardest.
of.
Everyone knows that.
Twice that we know of.
Yeah.
I mean, those bodies aged real fast when we tried to save them for the next morning, and they burned really quick. They may have been dead a lot longer than one night. Even undead for longer than one night. And we let 3 of them leave.
2 of them
Yeah.
survived.
Yeah.
Two
You
of them?
did.
Right?
Yeah. You
Two
did.
of
Right.
One
So
was pretty badly wounded.
One was pretty badly wounded.
One was just a coward.
Yeah, the other
Right.
ran away during the battle, I think.
Yep.
Or right at the end of the battle.
yeah, so I mean, I've heard stories of how these things go. I tell stories about how these things go. I'm gonna tell a romantic story this time around. And may they not end up dead immediately upon pregnancy, but that happens too.
This time,
You've
not a
heard
downer story.
Absalon's story over and over again.
Is Haldora anywhere nearby? Is she?
Sure. Yeah. It's a daughter.
Okay. Yeah. My friend. I figured that like, since Haldora and I are around the same age, and like, this isn't like a palace. This is like a regular like, in homestead kind of thing. That we probably just share a room. 2 girls, right?
Sure.
So I'm gonna just pull her aside for a minute, and I'm gonna say, Haldora, will you promise me something?
Sure.
Will you not go anywhere by yourself for the next few days? I think there's something really bad going on here, and I'm worried that they were targeting this girl, and they might be targeting other girls. Just, if you go anywhere, take someone with you. Like, don't go alone.
Yes.
I mean, I know you go off into the fields and get herbs and things for your business, but I'm just very worried.
She, of course, looks as you kind of are talking. You're worried, obviously.
Mhm.
She becomes worried because you're worried. She says, yes, as you say.
I'm sure
I'll
it'll be
take-
over shortly. We'll figure out what's going on, but just for now.
I hope you do. Be safe. Yeah?
I will.
Don't you get whatever taken.
Well, I'm tougher than I was, when I first came here.
A whole one tougher.
One level.
Hey, sometimes one's all you need.
Almost double the hit points, and
That's twice
spells.
as
That's a
tough.
lot of
True,
Yeah.
power.
I
right,
I'm
twice as
doubled my
tough.
hit points.
Yeah. Mathematically, you are stronger at second level compared to first level than you are at third level compared to second level.
Yeah,
Unless you
so
roll
tough.
hit points like somebody I know.
Okay, that's it.
And I figured that this whole setup with food is done with the very long tables where you're kind of on benches and
Oh,
slide
yeah.
in and out,
Picnic
and so
tables. Absolutely.
very much so. So I do slide in next to Stig at some point in time.
Oh yeah, Stig. Hey, Stig.
Hey,
Hey,
honey.
I'm glad you're unmuted now.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Stig is just eating, decompressing, drinking ale. He's like overheard a little bit of what Astrid was talking about with Ulf, so he's just kind of
Fair.
pondering some of that.
Did
There
you
was a-
though? Did you hear that?
I don't know. Would I have? How big is this place?
You may have heard some of what.
It's a good size. It's a good size hall. It's not like
Or if I'm
Okay.
at the table with
He's at the table. He's
Paija.
definitely heard what I've been talking about with Maya.
okay.
And
I mean,
Maya,
like-
I'm
I knew
she's
that.
I guess
given
it
some-
kind of depends like observant he is, or like what is
Are you known for being
yeah,
with the
what
eyes
is-
of a hawk and the ears of a deer?
like
Probably not.
perception, right?
probably
Super
not.
high perception. Maybe he overheard something.
Yes. The only perception that Stig has is seeing into the mysteries of the runes and the universe.
Yeah.
Which is more important anyway.
No,
I mean,
think
you could have
he's-
certainly, like anyone there could have looked over and seen them talking, right?
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
know that there was a conversation for sure.
Right.
But I think it's more likely that you could have overheard some of that information, which was shared with Paija and Maya, for
Right.
sure.
But yeah, like I let the family go back and Absalon really might be the bard, but he likes to be the storyteller. It is his in. He is an entertainer, as awkward as he may or may not be. So he's distracting many as I want to check in with you.
With me.
Are you okay? That was quite the battle.
Yeah, it was. It was surprising. It surprised me, but I think we all did very well.
You did.
I was
You and
impre-
Vidar.
I was impressed.
Impressive.
I saw you body check a man. That was impressive.
Ah,
Slammed him to the ground.
well, he more slammed himself to the ground by
No.
walking into me. I mean, really,
Um,
man should know is.
they had it coming.
I'm glad you see that. Because for one to turn that quickly, choices needed to be made well in advance. Choice of greed or of envy. Choice for wrath, lust, revenge. Knows you can turn, the winter can take you as fast as that happened. If you have such a choice, what would you choose? Kindness or rage? Humility? Patience? Judgment?
Well, I like to think I'm a patient person.
Well then,
But once
You
the
have no
swords
fear
came
of that
out, I
window.
figured, it was time to start the fight.
oh, you did well.
Thank you.
Have we covered, Stig? Have you killed people before?
I hadn't.
So not only did you kill a man for the first time, but you
Yeah.
also burned him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just want that to sink in.
Yeah. No, it had sunk in, but that's let's just say it's not affecting him the way he thought it would.
Okay.
Everybody seems
so-
to forget that Astrid also killed a dude. Like everybody's just like, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah. So like at the moment when he
You have that
did
air
it,
about
he was
you.
kind of
Yeah,
shaken.
he's
but
probably killed someone before.
yeah, he's been able to move on.
Okay.
Gundr is
Well,
making it
he's
sound like he said.
rationalizing. Yeah.
He's a thinker. He's working through it with his brain meats. And the power of the runes.
Yeah.
And I don't. What time of the day is it? Is it getting late? Like
Yeah,
took a long
it's-
time to
it's-
get here, right?
It's evening. Yeah, they'll we'll conjoin again shortly. But it's it's evening time now. It's dark.
I imagine
um,
everybody's pretty tired from the travel to the inn.
Yeah, it was a trek.
Mhm.
Vidar is gonna sleep like a fucking baby tonight. Breaking trail for that long. Oof. in makeshift snowshoes, nonetheless. Thighs. You could
He's
break
good at what he
walnuts for-
does.
Yeah, never skip leg day.
He's one
It's
of
always
those
it's always
15-year-olds
leg day
with
in
the
the
full
north.
abs. You're like,
Yeah.
why are you so ripped?
Yeah.
Snowshoe 24/7, baby.
I work outside. I had to chase down breakfast.
Every day for the past 15 years.
Yeah, right. And it's always the fastest one.
It was
As the
hard when there
youngest,
was
you have to
one,
prove
but
yourself.
I mean, he grew up having to fight for scraps of food, like when he was taken as a thrall. So he's been in survival mode since he was taken in by Gorm. So it's been literally that survival scenario for him.
Yeah.
that's less funny.
Is there anything else there with Stig you would like to?
Stig doesn't really have
Okay.
anything he wants to.
Oh,
I mean, with the family
fair
at
enough.
least. Not with Paija. I mean,
What would you like to? Do you have anything that you would like to do, Stig? Any?
that's what I was trying to say. I don't currently have anything I want to do.
Okay.
Steve just chilling, yo.
Yeah.
Are we waiting for people to come back, or are they planning to come back tomorrow morning? Did we make any plan whatsoever?
That's a good question. I don't think you
Well,
did,
I think the plan was to meet up here, right?
or maybe you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't say
We
like
said we'd be back. We didn't
tonight
say
or-
when.
tomorrow or
Awesome. Well, hey, check it out. It's like 8:30 here in Minnesota, where many of us live, except for those of you who are weird and live in different places. So let us take a break, and we will come back. The party will reunite in a joyous feast hall sort of thing. I guess literally after a fashion. And we'll see what happens next. If you're still here watching, awesome. Thank you so much. It's amazing. If you want to continue to watch, do so. Hit the icon that gives you the notifications. Follow us. You can subscribe. That helps us be able to keep doing things and telling cool stories and getting stuff to tell stories. Also, remember, we're giving away these dope ass dice. These ones right here, from Azure Forged. Type in the word Azure, Azure, into the chat, and at the end, we will select a person with our bot who does it for us. Robot lives matter. I guess. No, they don't. Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. That's inconsiderate. Don't kill me, robots. Don't kill me. Anyway, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Man, I gotta be more concise so I don't ramble on so much.
Time to move
We'll
to
see
the
you in
woods
10
away from the
minutes.
robots. Bye.
Hello. Welcome back to Midwinter Keening. I am North Shore DM. These are my friends. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons. Last we left off, some of the group was hobnobbing is really not the right word, but hobnobbing it in the inn, relaxing a little bit, eating, finding out interesting pieces of backstory, getting a broader picture of things that are happening, arranging, weddings as you do, arranging weddings, and another
D&D.
group, right, right. Let's kill them and get married.
Skull.
Hey, are we gonna have a comedy or a tragedy here?
Not
Yes,
both.
yes. If any of you are familiar with any of the weddings that Rosie Beestinger and Dinar Blitzen have been to, you will know the things that my players will be in waiting for them. That didn't work out. My talking anyway. Some of the people went and talked to Gorm, and they're sending some rangers off to warn locals that some shit might be going down. And now they're returning. And in fact, now they have returned. Gundr, Vidar, you have trekked your way back to Molgor from the Hall of the Rangers, gained access to the town, and in fact, to the Storytellers Inn, where you can see your friends, your compatriots, finishing a meal, talking with each other, laughing perhaps even a little bit, sharing stories. I feel like as well, some more people have kind of come out to the inn. So there are other people around, many of whom you have at least seen before, some of whom maybe you. You've got cats who want to come back into your lap. And as you do,
It's a town of cats.
It's just cats. It's just Freya statues everywhere.
I like that town. I'm staying there.
And right, Freya had cats. There's a cat chariot.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I'm remembering that right.
Yeah. I mean, there is a cat in the kitchens of the inn, I think.
Yeah,
but
probably.
whether or not he's in the main part of it, I don't know.
It's a big ass forest cat.
Probably Norwegian forest cat.
Look, yeah, those cats are so cool. And yes, here you are, and back in the warmth of the inn, of a hall.
Gundr will step in, kind of stamp off the snow, and shake out his cloak and look around, and there's the people.
Yes,
They're back. You're back.
Yes, we are.
What did they say?
They will be sending runners to the farms further out, and Gorm will be here in day after tomorrow. Yes, Vidar?
Yes, that is correct.
To speak with us and the Jarl himself.
I am to stay with you for the time being.
That can be arranged.
I believe he will need a bed then. My farmstead is not as spacious as one might think.
How spacious? I'm sorry.
If should I speak to the nice woman who runs the place myself, or can one of you make those arrangements?
That would be me.
It's
fine.
Paija.
Paija, you run the
Fine.
inn?
Well, my partner Epsilon, it's his inn.
Oh,
But yes, I can absolutely assist.
well, then that is most convenient.
Thank you.
I might need a bed as well.
Yes, you've got.
You live, Stig? That's a good question.
Yes,
Good.
That is a good question.
Beneath the cupboard.
Stig.
He's a little bit of a drifter right now
You just
Ooh.
like couch surfing.
because he doesn't want to stay at his home.
Oh,
And
interesting.
and he doesn't really want to stay with Saemond right now.
Okay.
But not with Saemond's like just far away. It's like at the far end of town, and
It is
He-
at the
he-
far end of town.
he'd rather stay with his new friends.
It's drafty at Samon's place. It's
otherwise,
cold out
yeah.
there.
Otherwise, he has like this a little abode at Saemond's place that he usually stays at.
I mean, luckily we're literally at an inn.
Started in.
Mm-hmm.
This brings up the question, though: do we wait to go to the Jarl until Gorm has come to town, or do we go to the Jarl on the morrow anyway to begin appraising him?
Can we not go to the Jarl now?
He'd probably want to hear it sooner than later.
Then shall we go to the Jarl's Hall?
How far away is it, though? I mean, it's the middle of. I mean,
right
it's
over
right
there.
now. What is it? 10 at night?
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
it's
quite late.
probably like 9, 10 o'clock by the time they kind of get back. Maybe not that. Maybe like 7:30, 8. Maybe 7:38.
So
But I mean,
how
it's,
about later
it's
than
wintertime.
that?
It's fucking dark.
It's real
Yeah.
dark. It's real cold.
I mean,
if it
yeah,
wasn't
it's-
a big enough emergency for us to go directly there before like chilling and having some food and stuff, we should probably do it tomorrow.
I
Should
lived
all
in
rest.
I lived in Ely for 2 years. That's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the wintertime.
Yeah, like it's been dark for. The thing is that means that you have to keep the fire stoked a lot longer at this point in time, and so you do kind of want to bed down early. And we know these two went all the way up to Gorm's place and back, so that's another 14 miles that they've walked.
It took them an hour one way.
You guys
Okay.
probably are tired.
Like 3 or 4
Story.
hours.
I'm annoyed that it actually says 7 miles because I had
Okay.
meant to be very Scandinavian about it and just put like 1 hex is like X amount of time.
Oh, that would
like
make
that.
perfect sense. I like that
Right,
better
right.
than miles anyway.
Well, if this is the case, I will return in the morning. Yes.
Or we can find a spot for you here too. We're not full yet.
I would not want to put anyone out.
And we could all leave early in the morning then.
Gundr just looks between Astrid, Paija, nods. As you will, then.
So I mean the two. So Astrid and Vidar have their room, and I am able to find. It's a relatively small room. More heard of the private house side of things, where there is definitely space for 3 young men.
I can just
Room
bed
is,
down by the fire.
Room is a liberal interpretation of the space.
Yes.
It's it's like kind of partitioned areas of between beds.
Exactly. I mean, if you want to leave, and I don't know how far actually. How far is your place from
How many hours?
from the inn? Like, are you like?
It's the other side of the fields, outside of the wall.
You'd have
Maybe
to
that
get
makes
a path. Okay.
It is not so far, but if you insist I stay, I will stay.
I mean, then we can all leave early in the morning and, just take care of it. We don't have to like go out and find him or wait for him. Or...
Then I shall bed down by the fire. All will be well.
Which is a pretty common thing for folks to do as well.
Mhm.
Rack out. fall asleep on the floor. There's probably a bunch of dogs that pile up there too.
They're
Bunch
cuddling.
of cats kneading biscuits on you as you fall asleep, keeping your toes
Yeah.
warm.
It's
You
just
know.
nice. It's okay.
Cats kneading biscuits, dogs eating those biscuits. Wait, we're talking about different biscuits.
That's why the only animals. And that's why the only animals Gundr has back at his stead are a cat who's a mouser. The cat will be fine.
Are goats. Yeah. Does anyone have anything they wish to do before, night happens, sleepy time happens?
Necromancy?
for
No.
Vidar?
Okay.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, I was totally gonna like have a little meditation session. So
You can. That's totally cool.
I can't do much yet, but I will. I'll just I'll meditate and pray and stuff.
Okay. What kind of things do you meditate and pray about?
Just like so I don't have any spells yet that do anything cool. So it's more like in a loose sense of the word, I will like ask, Baldur that he help me like locate these people, like these bandits. So
Like a normal person.
a normal prayer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm level 2.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, it's understandable.
At some point, Paija plays a nice lullaby to put everyone, kind of wrap everything down from the festivities in this place, and
people are going to sleep or leaving to go to sleep.
I mean,
it's nice. Give me a performance roll. Roll that jaw harp or whatever you're playing.
here's my jaw harp. That would be a 13.
Yeah. It's good.
I think she's getting better.
It's the kind of thing that tells you that the bar is closing. If you enjoy it, you will bed down here, and if you don't, you will find another place to be. It is either very, very restful, or it's like when you're in the French restaurant and all of a sudden they start playing heavy metal.
Now we're gonna have to. Yeah,
That is
that's
new
a
to
real
me,
thing
and I
too.
love everything about
That is
what
a
I
real
just learned.
thing.
It is a real thing, yeah.
You don't have to go
Now we're
home, but
gonna-
you can't stay here.
Now we're gonna have to translate closing time into Icelandic.
I feel like it's
With
out on
jaw harp.
Be done.
Andy, that's you. You're on it.
Oh
That can
god.
be done.
Yeah, it could probably be done, actually.
Google
I don't know
will
what
do
is,
it.
but-
That sage Google person.
It's your homework for
Hey,
this
we
week.
we got raided by the Mists Awaken. Thanks for
Mists
stopping
Awaken?
by with your people.
Nice. Welcome.
To the exciting bedtime.
When you do your prayer, Astrid, like what I guess I don't know if you're doing it in view of anybody, but at least for those of us paying attention here at the table, as it were, like what does that look like? Like what kind of things do you do? Do you have any like, I guess, rote actions? Do you bust out a little votive of Baldur?
Well, I want to, but I don't actually have any stuff yet. So I think
That's
I mean,
fair.
eventually I would like to maybe like whittle like a little Baldur, like, idol kind of thing,
Okay.
and do some stuff, but like, I only got so many items unless you want to like set me up with like stuff. But we'll go more personal items.
Some
later.
gothy stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I think that makes sense.
Fine.
You've been here for a small amount of years, right?
Mhm.
So I get, to me as the dungeon master, and as a person who could be in your shoes, it would make sense that you would having nothing would have sought to acquire it, whether through your own hand or others. So If you, we can easily say that you have religious items that you
Sure.
would have.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, then I'm gonna go into like my room with Heldora, which is like it's a small room, and it is absolutely like it has tons of drying plants in it because she's an herbalist. So like there's string like across like every like half a foot running like across the ceiling of the room, and then there's all these different like plants like drying because she needs every available space. And like there's little writing desk with some ink and some vellum, and like there's flowers and pots because she's very girly. Not Astrid, Heldora.
Right.
And so like Astrid will like sit out a little corner, and she'll put up her little idol of Balder, and if she has incense, she'll burn it. And if she's alone, she's actually going to like take out from her bag this wooden mask and like lay it in her lap, and she's going to close her eyes and maybe chant, and try to think about like her day and like what she really wants, and nothing happens because she's not that powerful.
Oh, that's interesting. Why don't you go ahead and roll a d20 for me, please?
Oh man. Okay.
Yep, nothing happens. You feel good. 15. It was a 15. Yeah, you know, it like as you do when you're the kind of person who prays with real conviction, you know, from a mechanical sense, sure, nothing happens, but there's the non-mechanical sense that you
That
are
the DM is always listening.
well, that you are connected to the divinity that you know
Okay.
that you connect to. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. Anybody else have any maybe evening bedtime rituals, or anything that you wish to do? No.
Gundr's a simple man. He just bundles up, gets comfortable by the fire, and is out in a minute.
Okay. Vidar, Stig, are you gonna take room space, which has been offered to you, or would you hang out here with your boy Gundr, as it were, on the floor?
Yeah, I'll probably just stay where Gundr's staying.
Okay.
Vidar will take a bed. He's probably never slept in a bed before, so he's gonna take advantage of it.
Not one this nice, anyway. You have a mattress on your pallet, but it's, I mean, this is like a mattress.
Right.
Are they expensive?
Mattresses?
The bed for the night.
It's a sleep number.
It's
Beauty rest.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's broken. It's only set at 87, whatever that means.
Whatever
But
that.
the left-hand side of it's set at 32.
Just roll over to the comfy
Just-
side.
You're just like, ah!
Hope you get lucky.
Yeah. They've been offered to you.
Oh, I'd take a bed then.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. You rest up. You get a full rest. It is great.
Oh.
There are, in fact, no Draugr that appear, although maybe some do in someone's dreams, perhaps. There are no bandits knocking down the doors to the inn, although again, perhaps in someone's dreams. I don't know. But you wake in the morning. Gundr, perhaps a little earlier than other folk, due to the location where he is.
He's up with
And-
the animals, as it
Yeah.
were.
I am probably up fairly early as well, because I'm probably am cleaning up the inn after like what everybody was having socializing last night. So I'm
Sure.
gonna make sure all the tables are wiped and all the dishes from last night got washed and that kind of stuff. Haldora's probably with me as well, doing the same
Yeah.
thing. It's probably very routine.
I want to step out of game really quick and just say how much I fucking love that you have given yourselves jobs like normal people in this D&D game. That is my favorite thing ever.
I have 2 jobs, man.
I know, right?
Like my
Just
life's
regular
tough.
people with jobs.
Ooh, speaking of that, we should figure out a mechanism as to whether or not Aya has her main duties to do on random nights
Oh,
in
well,
town.
I mean, the DM can certainly like run over and be like, "Somebody's having a baby."
Here,
But-
right? Let me roll on my baby chart.
I mean, just
Nope,
just
there's
so
no
you know,
baby
like it
happening.
could absolutely be a sort of a thing that happens. That
yeah,
I am a midwife, and sometimes that just means I'm not available because there's something else that's going on.
That's true.
And I don't know how big this town is, but it's
It'll
big
be
enough.
always at the most inopportune times. Like
I'm sure it will
we are
be.
being laid siege to by giants, but there's some fucking babies coming.
Babies.
You gotta deliver those babies.
I love a good
my God.
baby B plot. Gundr is getting up. He sharpens his sword, checks his armor, and then offers to help the girls clean up if they need a hand.
Sure.
sure.
It's an easy cleanup.
It'll
It
go
wasn't
quick.
like a super rowdy night, I don't think.
I don't think it was
Um,
packed. I think
Yeah.
In
It's
the
winter
middle of
time. You
winter?
get
No.
it's like, it's off season, but you still get folk coming out for a story or just a
meal.
different set of faces, right? Yeah. Absalon shows up at some point,
He makes
There's a labor-
breakfast.
starts making breakfast and stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like fucking bacon on the fire
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
and some fresh eggs from out back. Actually, wait, it's wintertime.
Probably not so much eggs.
Yeah. So they're preserved eggs from out back.
Ugh.
I don't actually know a
Are
lot
they
about
pickled?
it. So I don't
They
know
have
anything
eggs?
about it.
Hens don't
In
mix
in
and
Magnus Nielsen's book, Nordic the new Nordic cooking or something. It's a giant tome of fucking. It's awesome, but he references ash cured eggs in like the in the poultry section, and has a picture of it, but doesn't talk about how to do it, and I'm really annoyed about it. So Magnus
Aw.
Nielsen, if you're watching our fucking Twitch stream,
You know
I
he
want to
is.
know how to do. I want to know how to do ash cured.
We
eggs.
demand a recipe.
Come on,
Right, yeah.
Magnus.
Yeah. But I know I've looked it up a little bit, and I know that it was some kind of preservation method that you would bury eggs in ash. It's kind of like hard cooking with a little bit of I don't know.
It's
I
like
don't know.
baked
Lime
egg.
pickling.
Yeah. But yeah, there's eggs less fresh in some ways. But bacon's always fresh. And maybe there's some bread, some flat breads. I feel like there's actually
enough.
like corn and or grain here, so
There's porridge.
they can actually get into like more later period foodstuffs than straight Viking period foodstuffs.
The important part is we eat.
Yes.
Yeah.
You eat. It is good. It is hearty. It fills you up in the right way. It fuels your day.
All right then. Are we going to wait for Gorm, or are we going
Gorm
to just
will
go?
be here on the morrow, so we should at least warn the Jarl now that this is happening.
All
Yeah,
right.
I feel like we should go to see the Earl as soon as possible. Or the Jarl, sorry.
Then what are we waiting for?
Let's go.
Yeah.
We should go.
Yeah, you finish your meal and head out across the short span of a yard to the Yarrows Hall. And as you're kind of as you make your way out in the morning or this morning right now, as you make your way out right now, it's a cool, crisp morning. The kind of overcast that had come in at night is kind of starting to break up a bit. And you can see that there are a few people out and about here in town.
We say hi and go to the Yarrows Hall. It's
Yeah.
okay.
But interestingly enough, as you are kind of getting about to the point where you would like cross into the yard, which is that kind of open area where the feasts and all these different things happen, and kind of in front of the Yarrows Hall, a person, two people actually, kind of you kind of come at you from the side. Not like come at you from the side, but like, you don't see them walking up on you from ahead where you would see them from a long ways away. They kind of come around from a side road,
Okay.
and greet you. In this case, specifically Gundr. And some of you may or may not recognize this person. All of you have probably at least heard of this person. If you have not, or these people, I should say, if you have not, in fact, ever specifically spoken with them. And so you have. Oh, hang on, I gotta flip to the right page. Here we go. So the person in the lead is a kind of a tall, Astrid woman, beautiful, charismatic, well dressed. Her clothes are well made, not as repaired as maybe some of your clothes are, but definitely as would be the case with many people around town. She is, well built, not like well built, but she's like many of you up here in the north can take care of
Sturdy?
themselves, as it were. Sturdy. Yes, sturdy northern lasses. But this is Haldis Gunder's daughter, who is a Carl, a freeholder. She has a number of she has a number of farm holdings, and some boats. She does some fishing.
She's rich.
Yeah. And with her is a man whose name is Angst. He's known as the Feared. He is a named man. He is a literal mountain of a man, a half of a mountain man. He is a half Jotun. He is tall and like beefy, like he's like to the rocks. He's not that tall, but he's like a huge dude.
Dave Bautista, inflated.
Right. he is a singular sort of person for having a veritable grip, a library, as it were, of runes tattooed across his body, which some would say give him the ability to turn swords and knives and axes. He specifically has a reputation of being a person who would gladly cut your face off. Like that's too specific, but kill you for sure.
No, but that sounds accurate.
He is a killer. And he is her sort of right hand man, Haldus. And they approach as you are striding across as you are striding on your way. And Haldus, all these names with many letters. Hang on, let me get a little drinky poo. Haldus greets you, Gundr, and she says, "Ah, Gundr."
Aldous, angst. Fair morning to you.
He doesn't say shit. He just kind of, you can't tell if he's fuming or farting. You know what I mean? He's got that kind of face. And she says, I heard about what happened.
Word has spread so fast. Perhaps the Jarl already knows. Good.
It's a small town.
This is true. We go now to speak with him. Apologies that we do not have more time.
Do you mind if I come along? I have business with the Jarl as well.
There's a different crease on his forehead that says, "Yes, I mind." But out loud, he goes, "No, of course, please."
Very good, very good.
Gundr speaks mostly in forehead creases, apparently.
Yeah, it'll travel. Eventually, you'll get the eye twitch. Then you'll have a full stroke.
It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. And then Gundr just keeps walking towards the Yarrows Hall.
Okay.
Definitely suddenly a bit
How
stiffer.
much of your forehead creases? How much of your forehead creases do your good friends know?
Oh,
How much can we read?
Very obvious he is uncomfortable and a little chagrined, but he's obviously doing the "I'm a nice person" and letting this go.
Right. Nobody wants problems with these two. They look tough.
True.
Paija probably knows he's had problems with these two.
Okay.
Wait, with both of them?
Well, at least one of them, and I assume that means you have problems with the other.
It depends. Yeah, they'll fall in kind of with you lot.
Vidar will just
She
be
likes to-
staring at the runic tattoos that are visible, if any.
Yeah.
He'll be sort of interested in that.
Yeah, you can see like, he's wearing warm stuff, but you can see that like one side of his head is like covered in these runes.
Can I do a religion check or anything for the runes?
For runes?
Or
Vidar,
is that more of a
not
rune
Vidar,
check?
but
Stig.
Stig. Fuck.
Stig is definitely looking, yeah.
Stig, do you have a rune skill? Is that a skill? I should know this.
Hold on. I have it up. Hold on.
I mean, I know you have you have a power, but I'm trying to remember if there's actually a.
Well, if it's like, let's see. I can sense an aura
Yeah,
indicating the existence of a rune within 30-foot radius. Like if it's
color
like
Arcana.
You
if it's
found
like
it.
rune-based magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arcana check.
Yeah.
Intelligence Arcana check.
Okay.
And it's DC is 10 plus the spell level of the rune.
Astrid, you can make. I would allow either a religion or an Arcana check for you, for sure.
Turns out it's just how how people in America have like Chinese tattooed on them that means nothing. Same thing in runes. It's just
Like
chow mein,
cabbage.
taco.
Yeah.
All right. I rolled a 2.
2.
Yep, them runes.
Steve,
Tattoos are cool.
what did you roll, Stig?
Let me check here. Hold on. What do I got for
Give
that?
me a roll.
What is it? Oh, well, it's still
15.
15. Nice.
It's like an 8.
Okay. Yeah, Astrid, it's hard to kind of see it's on his face,
moving.
and he's moving, and they're they're not big, they're fairly small. Shit, where did I write this down? Stig, you get a little bit better look, and of course you have a sixth sense, as it were, about this sort of thing. And oh, that's awkward. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I can't read my writing. I have the names of runes written down, but I wrote it. It's so fucking small and bad. Hang on, let me scroll through here real quick, because I have very specific things written down. Dave, what are we listening to?
Because it's really good.
Sirenscape.
Sirenscape, nice.
Brindle Town.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Runes, where are you? Okay. So we have... Oh, no. Am I? Oh, okay.
You're still here.
I thought I left.
Nope, you're fine.
I
We
heard
lost
something, yeah.
We lost Amanda.
Oh,
No, she's
I
still,
see her.
She's still there.
audio.
Audio, Amanda, you dropped out of
Oh.
Discord for some reason.
And
I used to have like a Vogelmoot CD and a Corvus Corax CD.
I love
It's
Corvus
awesome.
Corax. What the hell? Where did it go? Buku.
No, I have no idea how I left the channel.
Sometimes it happens.
It happens.
Sometimes you just get dropped sometimes.
Technology, man. It's
Yep.
great when it works.
Fun.
Oh, it's that one.
It's magic, really.
Glad you guys saw it, because I'm like, what happened?
So there are Stig, there is a very singular sort of rune stave kind of repeated here that is made up of odal and where is the other one? And ing. And there's probably another rune for strength, which I don't have written here. It's not in the book. I have it written down. I don't know why I didn't write more down. I've thought
That's
about
all right.
it.
I mean,
a
you can
lot.
send it to him, later. You just say,
Yeah.
it's strength. Give me the details later.
Well,
And
he's got a reputation around town, I imagine.
he does, yeah. There are very bad things that people have heard about this guy. Not like criminally, as it were, but things that happen, tragically because somebody ran their mouth in the wrong way and is now in, two halves or 4 halves, perhaps.
Quartered.
Dead anyway, very dead. He is, yeah. He is he is known to be a champion of the circle, as they might say, which is a sort of formal challenge ring that you might do if you challenge somebody to like what equates to a duel. You might fight in the circle, which is something that we may end up doing someday. We may not.
Maybe not at second level.
Not a second. Well, you never know.
Only if we want to roll new characters.
Yeah. So you essentially, Stig, you are able to kind of figure out that these are like kind of protection and almost weave a runic armor of magical energy around him, in a very real way.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And kind of in this uneasy silence, perhaps. Haldus doesn't seem necessarily at unease. Angst, of course, you're never sure. That dude doesn't give a shit. Make your way across the yard towards the Yarrows Hall, right? The Yarrows Hall, larger than the other kind of halls in town. Not quite the height of like a stave church, but has multiple roofs. It looks epic as hell. It is guarded, as it were, by generally younger members of the Yarrows clan, the Yarrows family, right? The young kind of Dreng, usually the untried warriors, always with a more seasoned warrior, an uncle or something, or a cousin perhaps. Kind of there's always a few of them out about the hall, standing guard, in prime fashion with their family. They all have birds, as they are known as tamers of birds. Generally eagles, although Heralder is, of course, known for having tamed one of the great eagles from the Molgoroth, which is a really big eagle, like the person size. These, of course, lesser eagles that these boys have are still impressive animals, but not that large, as it were. And you approach the hall, and one of the guards, one of these family members, steps forth, and says, "Good morning."
Hail and tomorrow. We seek to speak with the Jarl, as does Haldis and her companion.
Good. And anything in particular?
There are Draugr on the
That came
northern
out weird.
marches.
Mm. That tracks. That seems serious. I'll go. Come with me.
That one guard is weird.
Yeah, he's weird.
What's his name?
So awkward.
Shut up! Don't ask everybody's name.
He's got a charisma of 1.
What's his name? Where he's from? Where is he from? How many sisters does he have?
He's from Molgor, and his sister's name is Helga. Yeah,
Canon, folks.
he takes you. He kind of leads you into the hall, and opens the kind of grandish doors, that of course the hall has, and what's everybody's passive perception real quick?
Big 12.
Great. 10.
10. Nice.
13.
13.
14.
14.
13.
13. I think Astrid, you maybe kind of out of the corner of your eye, you kind of catch Haldis, like as she's kind of like passing in, under the eaves of the hall. She kind of she gets like almost like a longing look in her eye, as it were.
Like, can I ascertain, is her longing for the building or is her longing for a person?
That's a great question. Why don't you roll? Give me an insight roll.
Okay.
I like that. That's a good question.
Okay. And then insight. All right. That would be 16.
16. Yeah. It is. It's this place. There's something about this place that holds some power for her.
Ambitious.
Yeah. Yeah. You. It's very well that some of you at least would know that her family was once, of course, Yarrows here in Molgor before. So yeah. And you enter into the Yarrows Hall, and it is it's quite a bit grander of a place than the other places in town. It is, but at the same time, it's still very country. It's like it's like the very
country,
nice.
it's a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah, it's the nice like hunting lodge. Like it's like the English style hunting lodge, versus like an American hunting lodge, which might be a little dirtier, to the somebody's like estates in London or something, which would be farther to the south. So it's nice. It's more well appointed, say, than anybody else's place that you've been. Any of you have probably been up here anyway, but it still has that that kind of that binding essence that things here in the north have. It is there's a lot of in a kind of a similar way to Gorm's Hall, which is very appointed and rather arted up with animal motifs. There's a lot of animal motifs, except for here they're all birds. There's eagle carvings. You know, the posts along the length of the hall are carved almost not quite in like obviously a totally different stylistic motif to like a northwest coast native person with like the poles and the stacked animals, spirits and stuff, but tall kind of carved bird heads on some of these poles, and things like that. It's pretty cool if you're into birds. Evidently, these folks are really into birds.
Those Svilland chickens, man.
Yeah, right. And it's a very inviting hall. It's not so kind of grand and regal that it has that kind of unapproachableness. It's inviting, and there's there are a variety of people doing a variety of things here, whether they're cleaning or you can see some of the perhaps some of the family members or some of the people in like the Yarrows kind of circle, his court, as it were, whatever, are probably having breakfast. You can see that there's kind of at the far end, there is a bit of a chair, because of course all high tables must have a chair, and there's a great cloak of feathers that kind of is on the back of the chair.
Paija is a little less interested in entering to see the actual Jarl as everyone else. She is happy to escort the party, but as soon as she notices that there are family members around, she is definitely looking for any of the women or children that she might know in some other context, and will be finding a way to just ghost herself with them.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a perfectly viable option for you to do, and we can do that.
Okay.
Oh, show. You find maybe a
she's
group.
really trying to find maybe one of like the toddlers that she may have birthed, and just check in with, a mother of someone under the age of 5, making sure they're fine, and she's just going to disappear in with women and children.
Okay, I like it. I'm going to do this. You find
14 babies.
you find wee Edla.
Is that the babies we?
Wee, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that is a toddler. Edla.
Okay. Like a little one.
Yes.
Just a
Now
wee
I
bear.
have to write that down. Edla.
Sweet.
Toddler in Yarrows Hall. The hall toddler. All good halls have a toddler.
They come with one.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the early form of jesters. Very similar role. Throw shit at people that you probably don't like, but can't actually say that you don't like them. But it was the toddler. It was the toddler.
I am small. I'm a small adult, and I go and I find her, and I have her show me to her mother or her whoever's nursing her, and we just I try to stay somewhere to support, but I am away.
Sure.
Gundr,
and
meanwhile,
invisible.
is he goes right up towards the where the Jarl is sitting, stops at whatever is considered a respectable distance. At this point, I imagine it's like 10 or 20 feet back.
No, man. This is the north. This like
okay. Walks up
close
to the fucking table.
Yeah.
Just walks up to the table, bows his head. It's like, Jarl Heraldr, we wish to speak with you.
Yes. You are
Gundr.
Gundr?
Yes.
The thought of
Tryggvason.
Thor.
Yes, I
Hey.
live in the old family farmstead outside of town. I do not know what has reached your ears, but yesterday morning, a young man from the crap. What's the name of the family again?
Ornson.
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 The young lad from the Ornson farmstead came to town saying there had been an attack. I went
I've heard of this.
We were those who went forth. They were bandits. They were trying to take the daughter, Orny. They take, as in we're carrying her to a cart to head somewhere.
That's not good. That's less good.
This story
not
gets
great.
no better. We slew some and drove the others off. One of the ones we slew apparently was named Harvard, a veteran of the Thunder Guard turned bandit, which we are concerned by. But more importantly, in the storm last night, the three we slew rose again as Draugr.
These are troubling. These are, that every time. These are this is troubling news.
The eagle.
We have already spoken to Gorm and his rangers, and they are sending runners to the outlying farmstead. He will be here on the morrow to speak with you as well, but we thought you should know.
Yes, it's been a while since bandits have troubled us. Outlaws have troubled us this far, especially in winter. This isn't good.
We agree, especially we are concerned that the Black Winter touched their corpses, so we seek, perhaps after we hear from Gorm, to return to the farmstead and then try and find these bandits and have them dealt with, but we wish to speak with you first before we did such a thing.
We
So Astrid's gonna be up there, but she's gonna be like in the very back and like not trying to be seen, like, you know, not like actively like don't look at me, but you know, like not being I don't know, very front centered.
You can hide behind Stig, he's very tall.
That's what I was, you know, I'm hiding behind most of you, but not obviously like cowering or anything.
Right.
I'm just kind of back.
He's possessed, kill him.
Yeah.
He's speaking in tongues.
Speaking in tongues.
He's a million of hell.
Oh, there we go.
Oh shit, well that was the whole plot of the series, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm glad you figured it out. Now roll initiative.
Damn it. We're level 2.
Them's the breaks. That's what
I'm
happens
smart.
when you figure it out too fast.
TPK.
Let's see. I have something written about this. Hey, why are you biting me? You're done. Go away.
That's how they
You
show
tried to
love.
bite my boob. He says to you, yes, I can, we'll call up some men and secure the town. And are they going to bring, he kind of are they bringing those folk here to town?
I do not believe so. Vidar, he did not say this, yes? maybe.
didn't hear you.
Vidar?
Sorry,
Vidar, are you there?
I was chatting.
How dare. Gundr's looked at Vidar, goes, I do not believe they're bringing the outer farmstead people here. Gorm did not say this, correct?
No, they went to warn them, Jarl. With respect.
Wait, they will not bring them, but that does not mean they may not come.
Unless there's good reason. If they're being attacked or it is dangerous, then they would be encouraged to leave.
Mm-hmm. Oh no. He says, "Well, we'll prepare the town in case people come in. You lot would go after these lawless folk."
Yes, I fear there is more to it than meets the eye. If there is, I would see it dealt with. If it is not, then we have dealt with bandits.
As well, we can, and he kind of looks to you, Stig, and says, you're Stig, you're Simon's pupil.
Yes, my Jarl.
Um,
I don't think we've ever met personally. You probably know my father as well.
yes. He was a, what kind of man was your father?
He owns land and sheep.
Oh, right.
He's a Carl.
Is he like a good guy? Is he like well liked by the public?
He's like
Does
a
the Jarl secretly hate him?
successful. He's a successful like wool merchant.
He's the wool guy.
He's the wool guy.
He's known for founding
he has
Woolworths.
because he's a Carl, so he owns some land.
Yeah.
And he puts sheep on it, and he has other people put sheep on their land, and then he has people that process the wool.
I want to hear your wool commercial at some point.
It sounds like he sounds like he runs a
too
wool
developed? I don't know.
franchise. Is he like
he's
a wool
like the wool guy.
franchisee holder?
He has a woolly kingdom. No,
I like it.
it's like a small, it's
yeah.
as big as a business, a wool business can be. But yeah,
At this time.
Yep.
He says, yes.
Export business.
I know your father. He's a good man. Perhaps you should. Have you spoken with Simon about this?
Not yet. We thought the best idea would be to tell you right away, warn you of the danger. I haven't consulted him within yet.
Perhaps speak with him. Tell him to see if he can ask the runes, as he has done for me before. And if there are Draugr about, perhaps going to see Torgir. Torgir, is that this guy's name?
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, Torgir Rakison. He might have some insight. I know he has dealt with him, I think. I don't know. Perhaps
Then we will do so.
Why do we always assume that clerics know about undead shit? That doesn't make sense all the time.
Because they can turn them for some reason.
When I just do it. Hey, you're a cleric. You know about this stuff. Perhaps Torgir knows. Could offer some counsel. But go. You have my blessing. You say Gorm will come in 2 days? Tomorrow?
On the morrow, he said.
On the morrow. And please, and he motions for somebody. If you need any equipment, let this person know. Let R know. ARE. That's a fucking name. It's on my
Hell
list.
yeah.
R. Let R here know. Man, now I have to write down another name. I fucking hate myself. A person who gets stuff. I love it.
They sure are.
This is
Oh,
free form.
so
This
bad.
is free form, baby. This is how we do things in Chat's Louse. Yeah, he said, let R know if there's anything that you can get. We will appoint you well. And I'll gather my men and get the town ready, should it need be.
You have our thanks, Jarl. And
Thank
if
you.
no one has anything else, Gundr will leave, but I don't know if anyone has anything else.
On the way out, Vidar will kind of sidle up to Gundr and say, "We could use some snowshoes if they have them available for
Yes.
us to make traveling much easier."
That is wise. I could also use a spear. So we'll go find R.
He's right there.
We'll go over to him
You should go find him.
and just be like,
He's right there.
hello.
He pointed at a guy and brought him over.
Okay.
And
Maybe-
Talk to him. We make arrangements for
He's right there.
snowshoes and a spear and anything else, guys.
I could use some armor. Studded leather.
I don't think they have studded leather in this version. What are you looking
Hide.
They don't have. Are you sure?
Let me
I can't remember.
let me peruse the document that I put together. Shit,
Oh, there
where
it
did
is.
I fucking put it?
for? Gambeston leather, brigandine, and various hides, and then we get into metals.
Yeah, Svilland weapons. Yeah, there we go.
If you're looking for the equivalent of studded leather, you're looking for brigandine.
Yeah, brigandine.
Brigandine. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I looked at the equipment list.
That's okay. That's what they actually think when they say studded leather. That's actually what studded leather was historically.
True. Yeah, you're able to get a set of brigandine. I'm into that. I'm down with it. A spear for Gundr. Snowshoes. Yeah, for sure. We can get you guys some snowshoes.
And a few days worth of rations might not hurt because we do not know how far we're going.
That's true. You are able to get some rations, some food.
Can I have some
Do they-
rashers in my rations?
Do they
I
have
don't know.
anything that they can recommend to combat the cold, or like other than just you've got basic winter stuff? But do they have any like, hey, if we really get out there and the weather is terrible, like you can, take this or something? No,
I don't know what you mean. I mean, I could guess, but no.
but okay,
Um,
okay.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know what's available.
Sure.
well
Yeah,
prepared.
normal sorts of stuff. They can get you can get some like some nice kind of, you could get like a tent, or a shelter of sorts. You could get a pulk if you needed to carry stuff.
Like the sled.
The
kind
sled,
Of thing.
yeah.
Does R buy equipment?
No.
Will he accept the
Ours-
donation of the weapons I took from the bandits because I do not need them?
Sure.
Yeah, just give him those. Like,
Donations,
off the
yes.
bandits.
He will not give you money for stuff.
So while everyone is doing this exchange with R, I am assuming that I am still sort of in earshot, and I'm hoping to hear maybe what Haldas wanted to talk to the Jarl about.
Oh, sure.
Because they're all
Nothing
buying
good.
stuff and doing their stuff with R. I'm
Sure.
assuming that we're no longer talking, but I'm still within earshot, just trying to give a little listen.
Yes.
Slightly distracted by the child, but also not so much.
Give me a perception roll.
I guess I'm really distracted by the child. She's telling me an amazing story about
Yeah.
ducks.
She's
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
adorable.
Yeah.
So cute. So many
Something
ducks.
about a duck invasion of
It's fantastic.
of the place where the cats live. The ducks came in and demanded all of their stuff.
Well, they're
You
messy.
know, quack quack, quack quack.
They shit on everything.
They just they waddle. Everyone in the real world knows about the power of twerking, but do you know about the power of duck butt? Like that little waddle is a duck butt? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, and like a toddler in like a little duck raincoat is the cutest thing. So,
That is true.
Unfortunately, I do not know anything. I now know a lot about ducks.
Yes. Yeah, and you kind of let him know what you want, the rest of you, and he kind of takes you to a place where you can get it. And you do. And where do you go then?
Well, it's been recommended that we go to see the priest and the runesman. Stig, do you have a preference as to who we go to first?
We could go see Saymond.
Let's go see
That's fair.
Simon
Gear.
first.
It's
And realistically, we can figure that out next week when we come back and
Yeah.
play again. Since it is 9:55. Man, time goes so fast. Time goes so
Sequels
fast when you're
everywhere.
playing D&D with your friends. Hey, everyone. Number one, thank you. You can take that however you want, whoever it is that is responding to me, whether it's you, my players, you, the viewers. Thank you. I hope this is fun for you. I really do. It's fun for me. So, and everyone else is having fun. So if you're not having fun, what can we do to make it better? Perhaps it can be a dice roll, a dice win,
Dice giveaway.
a dice giveaway, because we do have that.
A
Maybe
dice away.
if you have not yet entered into the contest, you can do so right now for like a minute more. Enter Azure, AZURE, into the chat, and I will personally mail you these Azure forged dice as soon as my camera focuses on it. There we go. Okay. Well, they're rad. Budagar has got a different set than these, but he hasn't said. He says they're cool. Phoenix is eagerly awaiting his in Japan. They're going to be cool. I promise you, man.
Let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
give these dice away. Astrid, Ashley, why don't you do a 5-second countdown for us like last week?
Oh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done.
Kirk Ski Bob
Bob.
is
Wow,
winning the
well.
dice. Kirk.
Kirk Ski Bob.
Congratulations, Kirk. Are you here? Is the question, because you do have to be here to win. Is Kirk here? Oh.
He is. How?
You.
Well, you entered. Did you not? You didn't enter. Do you want us to re-roll it? We will. Nope, he's
That's
taking
odd.
them.
Hell yeah, buddy. Hell yeah.
Well, that's
Oh.
awkward.
Oh, yeah, you want us to re-roll it? We're re-rolling it.
All right.
All right, here we go. That was funny. Oh, this guy, which is that
This
guy up
guy.
there, has won it if this guy is here.
I think that technically makes this guy part of the honorary crew of the Good Buddy, given the naming scheme alone.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Oh, you're here.
That's you.
Congratulations, Kyle. You earned it, buddy.
I will personally deliver these from a safe distance to your house.
We know where you live.
A trebuchet or catapult may be involved. We don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, that's great.
Anyway.
Congratulations.
For those of you who are still here, all 12 of you, according to Twitch, fantastic. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you would want to hang out with us and watch us play Dungeons & Dragons, because it does. If you are not following us, please consider following us. The internet will then tell you when we are going live, which would be Sundays, no, Wednesdays and Thursdays on a regular weekly basis, and sometimes some other times when we do things like talk about fucking mapping or other stuff, or interview somebody who's cool, and that kind of thing. If you really want to help us in a more mechanical, real way, again, which would be super appreciated, you could even consider subscribing. Number one, there would be a mechanical benefit to you, which would be these really awesome emotes that I'm really jazzed about. They're super cool. Yeah, and as always, we'll be back here next Thursday. Also, next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the United States, playing Greyhawk Beyond Saltmarsh on Wednesday, playing this game again with these people. Anyway, please go away before I ramble on some more and make it even more awkward. We'll see ya.
Bye.